and Cam Rubin secures his third goal of the season. The sophomore out of Massachusetts and Belmont Hill. Danny, your alma mater.
Belmont Hill, we love it. Good to see him, adjusting to the college level and scoring goals, filling the net. I know he scored a lot at Belmont Hill. Maybe not as much as me, but I know he scored a lot.
You coached him for a little bit as well.
Yes, I did. I was fortunate enough to go back to Belmont Hill and help out in 2019. Like I mentioned earlier, extending the defense. And we talked about how good Villanova's man up has been. They can continue that. UPenn's going to want to stay out of the penalty box.
And Villanova almost had the ground ball with Jimmy Gabrielson, number 8, on the wing as Coppola against Arceri, but Penn able to.
And then, just a little scramble, and luckily he was able to find that ball with no one really on him.
Justin Coppola wins it. This time they go with Jamie Zusi, number 17. Physically, when you look at the size of Hanley and what he can do, 6'5", 230 out of Portland. Coppola, small and quick, he wins the faceoff here against Zusi. Size of Hanley and what he can do. 6'5", 230 out of Portland. Coppola, small and quick, he wins the faceoff here against Zusi. They had a 9-0 week last week with Penn beating Penn State, Cornell beat Ohio State, Princeton beat Georgetown. Here's the faceoff. Push it to your wings like Farrar. That's a good way to win it if you're Penn.
Absolutely. If Penn wants to get back into the faceoff, Villanova stopped them, got them with their 10-man ride, and just like that, they have a one-on-one with the goalie and buries it in the back of the net.
The Wildcats are 28th in offense, 35th in defense. Penn ranking number 28 in the country, but just 60th in facing off, whereas Villanova is excellent, 14. And that's big, Danny, from a week-to-week basis. You don't just show up. It's a week-to-week process, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And from what I've heard Pat Daly has a little bit of a mouth on him. He's from Boston area like myself, so I'm sure that's true.
And now he has a couple of goals against another Ivy League team. As let's send it down to Tessa Peloso.
When I spoke with Coach Corrado this week, I asked him, what does Matt Campbell need to do today to be successful? He said, he's one of their best players, a returning third-team All-American. He's a great leader. He needs to come out here today and make important shots, which he's doing. Nick, back to you.
Chris, goal.
Another one of those funky bounces, right? Just kind of goes through the defense. Great extra pass to the backdoor goal. Like we said, they capitalized off that kind of fluky play. We've seen that a few times today.
First career tally for Ben Smith as Penn brought in quite the haul, the number 8 class overall, and they recruit very well overall. Justin Coppola was a big goals, as we highlighted earlier, in that close loss to Villanova in 2020. He is an exceptional shooter, and you saw it there. He is a slick dude out of Annapolis. Coppola tried to win the faceoff, but it's Arceri who almost had it. Now Villanova with Stevie Jones off the wing. Actually, it's Coppola who has it. Face-off violation for Penn. We've seen a lot of teams with violations. The
stick extended. You as a player are big, strong, athletic enough to run through that stick. When a defenseman slides with their body, right, it's much harder to run through them. When they just kind of lunge with their stick, it's a great play by an offensive player to run through that stick, and as you can see, it worked to create a goal there.
And Justin Coppola wins the face-off super easy that time, and he spins out of danger and helps run it on for Stevie Jones and Pat.
Advantage of matchups where you can find them, and that whole possession, right? Villanova gets extra time on the shot clock, and they cash in on it. That's huge for them.
The face-off by Zusi and Coppola for Villanova. We get a push, and it'll be Penn possession.
Coach Corrado was telling his team, you have 15 minutes left, and the best team will win at the end of the 15 minutes. You have to play hard. You have to play smart. That's the key to winning this game. Nick, Danny, back to you.
We know the Wildcats can win faceoffs. The Wildcats have been a big fourth-quarter team this year, Danny. 20 goals, only 4 allowed.
That's very impressive. Finishing games strong. That's crunch time. That's where, good teams become great teams.
And over the last decade, Villanova Lacrosse has been an excellent fourth-quarter team. They've won the close games. They won the overtime games. The guy to my left knows a thing or two about that. On the 50-50 scrum, it's Villanova who comes away with it. Is that a flag?
Yes, it is.
They came up high on Justin Coppola up top. What would be the call there? His 7th goal of the season. He had 1 goal and 2 dimes against Hofstra. as Coppola tried to win the faceoff. And how about the wing play by Villanova? And well done by the Wildcats.
Unbelievable.
Three goals in that game against Duke. He tied that game with 2 seconds left. He ties this game with 1:18 remaining as Justin Coppola has won 12 of 17 draws. And we saw Arceri almost win it. B.J. Farrar claiming possession, and it'll be Villanova ball, Danny. Is that the right call?
That's absolutely the right call. The UPenn faceoff guy, I don't know if that was that Arceri?
That was Arceri.
Yes, he kicked it out of bounds when he was trying to just kind of get it into space, a little too much on the goose.